Well, hello and welcome to my film camera collection, episode number 23. Well, camera number 23. I did combine some early cameras into one episode. I may break that down in the future and put it as separate files, but for now we're going to stick with what we've been doing. And today's camera is a Brownie Fiesta R4. It's one that I recently purchased through an auction where I got a couple of other items, including some extra film for this camera, 4 extra rolls, as well as some lenses that fit a camera I don't even own. But that's another day and another story. This Fiesta Brownie, it comes complete in box, as you can see. It's a hinged box. It opens on both sides. And I'll try to open it up without doing too much damage to it. You will notice that there are a couple of items apparently missing, something at the very top right corner of your screen or left corner, depending on how I'm looking at this. There is a flash cube, and there is a full roll of Kodak Verichrome pan film, VP 127. That's the format that this shoots, 127 film format. It's not a common format. I believe you can purchase some black and white online from Japan or overseas somewhere. But as I said, I have 4 rolls, and at least one of those I hope to shoot with this little camera before too long. Probably make just some daylight shots. I will take the camera out of the box and have a quick look. All right, it fits in there fairly snugly. Underneath, by the way, you'll notice that the original owner's manual is in fact here. All right, so I'm not going to get into detail on that, but it is there. And as I said, one flash cube. It's the blue dot flash cube, from what I'm reading on top of it. I'll close it up and we'll have a closer look at the camera itself. As I said, it is a Brownie Fiesta R4 camera, Kodak branded camera. It is my 5th Brownie, I think. I have a 620, a 116, a 616, sorry, a 116, and 2 Hawkeyes, actually. So maybe I'm up to 6 of these little babies right now. I don't know if I did a good count that time. The flash mounts on the top of the camera, as you would expect. There is a lens down here, and your viewfinder window is up here. And on the back, it's a pretty tiny little viewfinder. The only other thing you'll notice back here is this little red area for looking at your shot number. It should come up on the paper portion of the film when you put it in. If you use film that does not have a backing, I think some of these have been modified to shoot 35mm film. That won't have a backing, so you will have to cover up that hole, obviously. The bottom of the camera, there is just a winder for the film, which is on this side, and there is a release here for the camera. So I'm going to pop it open and have a look here. So I have it now technically unlocked, and it was a bit of a wiggle to get this apart. At least I think I have it in the, oh no, I actually turned it into the lock position, so I'll turn it into the open position, so I'm not going to try to break this thing. And I think it just pries out relatively easy. That is as far to the right as it can go. And I did have a little bit of a struggle getting this out the last time too. So I'm doing this sort of down below here. Well, put it back in its lock position. There you go. Unlock it. Ah, there it popped off. Fairly easy the second time around. So you can see the interior of the case. Not much to see in here. Again, that little red light, red window. And you'll notice on this camera that the film goes in on one side over here. Oh, sorry, that's the take-up area, and this is where your film will go in. So I actually have these reversed a little bit. I guess this was the one that was left behind, and I figured out that this comes out fairly easily. It's a very small spool. I don't know if I have any more of my spools here to compare it to. Compared to a 620 or 120 spool. I used to have a bunch of them here, so maybe I can't really pause the video, so I'll just let it go. There is a little engagement at the top here, a little hard to see, just a double notch, or sorry, a single notch with 2 little stems coming out, same on the bottom. and the groove that you can see through here for feeding the film into. So I'm going to put that back into the take-up position, which is actually where I had it. And you can hear a little snap. There's a little spring loading up top up here. So you don't want to strain that string at all. Well, the spring, I should say. It says string, but spring. There's no requirement for batteries for this camera. The flash, I guess, is one of those ones that has its own power associated with it. There's a little notch here. I'm not sure what that does, and I've never pulled it open, so I don't know if I should do that at this point. It might be a battery chamber, actually, for the flash. So as you can tell, I haven't really gotten around to deeply investigating this little camera, but it's a tiny little camera. The shutter is off to the side here. I'll see if I can, I don't know if you can see that. So the shutter is firing, which is good. And there's a little winder, one direction winder, that's for your film. All right, down at the bottom. Of course, there's no film loaded in this currently, but that's how you would bring your film forward. I did give this a bit of a cleanup. It wasn't in bad shape, actually. It was in pretty good shape, but a little bit of dirt and stuff around the case that I've cleaned up, and a little bit around the lens, but the lens is actually quite tidy, as is the viewfinder window. So this little 127, it's the first 127 in my collection, and I do hope to shoot it. I think I'm going to check into the rolls that I have that are sort of separate from the box. They're in the foil wrap, and maybe put one in there and give it a shot. It all depends on whether or not I can get it developed locally. Anyway, that's some minutes.